Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Jets and the Packers, and it comes your way next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion New York Jets taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Well, Charles, it's been a long time coming, but the Jets are back in the Super Bowl. Their first appearance in the big game since the stunning Super Bowl III upset way back in January of 1969.
Yeah, it has been a long time, but this team, this organization finally found the right formula and got them back, competing for a championship, a world title, as we like to say here in the United States. I don't think they'll make any guarantees on this one, but they will compete.
Meanwhile, the Packers are back as they look to bring another Super Bowl title home to a place aptly named Titletown.
And they're looking for their 5th win, which would tie them with the Cowboys and 49ers for 2nd all-time. They did last win it in 2011. That was Super Bowl 45. Aaron Rodgers leading them over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But when you talk about titles, and you mentioned Titletown, they've won 13 championships overall when you count all the NFL titles prior to the Super Bowl era as well. So this is a town that's used to winning, and they expect to win this one as well.
This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude, and I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handled winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team the best chance to win.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. In motion, Hill. From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers. And this is caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Bo Melton with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Packers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Hall to start the drive. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he is going to have a Jets first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And this is a beauty, as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now it's Rodgers. It's Hill, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people and bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Rodgers going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And here comes Berrios. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Open man here is Conklin. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down. 1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 7-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up on 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Again, it's Jones. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones, and he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Hall. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Hall again on 2nd down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Wilson. And he'll find Hall. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they touchdown. Romeo Doubs, 29 yards. And the Packers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. Berrios is going to bring this out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Berrios now from his end zone. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone.
And all deep in his home territory, he coughs up the football. And this is going to be Packer football. So they take the deficit into the lockers. You know they had plans to receive the football. A nice drive, instead a fumble on the kickoff.
And that can be demoralizing right there because, as you pointed out, they had designs on coming out. Okay, we're going to change things here in the second half. Instead, with a deficit already, they cough it up, and now they've got to find a way to keep the score from mounting bigger against them.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers escaping the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play there.
And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Wilson. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Straight ahead is Hall. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he's taken down back in his own 7. Carl Lawson in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he's got room. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover. I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Hall. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? They go play action with Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here in Super Bowl 57 for Glendale. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On the counter, it's Hall. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Fighting more on the out route for the completion. He will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And going deep for Hill. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown! So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the fourth. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Now it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Wilson will throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
4th down. Here's Wilson. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 59 yards rushing for him now to this point. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brandon Eccles. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick 6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick 6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison to the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended. That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall them all, and what a play here. Another pick six in the Super Bowl. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. Rodgers throwing here. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on third and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Play action. It's Wilson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them.
And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. CD, this is the ideal situation in the fourth quarter. You come out here late, not much time on the clock, with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one on their own terms.
And the Lombardi Trophy is going back home. The Green Bay Packers are your Super Bowl champions. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.